Okay, now that you've looked at short 2 in full from different angles, let's break this down section by section so it's easier for you to learn. The best thing to do is take one section at a time, learn that section, then go on to the next and just build onto it. So section 1 of short 2 is Chinese sword, power side, weak side. So we start from our neutral stance. Salutation and bow. Then we're going to step in and do Chinese sword power side. Now we don't want to follow through like we do on the technique in no soft bow. All you need to do is step in and chop. Leave the chop about face level. Step in weak side and chop. Again. Whoops. Alright, let's try that again without bumping into the wall. So, salutation. Bow. Chinese sword. Remember, leave the hand about shoulder or face level. Just leave it there. Step forward and do it weak side and leave that one there. Last time. Let's do it from this angle so you can see it a little better. Just this section. 1, strike, and strike. So that's the first section of short 2. From a different angle so you can see it again. 1, 2. Okay, so section 1, Chinese sword, power side, weak side. Salutation, bow, step forward, Chinese sword, power side, step left, Chinese sword, weak side. And stay there, practice that, and when you're ready, come back and let's learn section 2. Okay, welcome back to section 2 of short 2. Now, where we left off, we've done Chinese sword, power side, weak side. So your last position was here. Now from here, right hand goes into chamber, left hand goes on top, palm to palm, draw to cat, step out, Chinese L. This is a straight punch, this is a vertical outward punch. Left goes to chamber, right goes on top, looks just like that. Draw to cat, step out, Chinese L, 2, 3 o'clock. So the whole thing, so we got Chinese sword. From here, draw to cat, Chinese L, draw to cat, Chinese L. Okay, so you can see these Chinese L's just from a different position. So we're just done our Chinese sword here. So it looks like this from this angle. Right hand in chamber, left hand on top, step out, L stance. Okay? So from this angle, Chinese sword, hands in chamber, and out. Hands in chamber, and out. Now get used to this move. A lot of people call this the cat stance kata because almost every other move is going into cat stance. So last time for section 2. So section 1 is Chinese sword. Okay, section 2, draw to cat, Chinese L to 9, draw to cat, making sure left hand in chamber, right hand on top, step out to 3 o'clock and Chinese L. Now, learn those first 2 sections and then come back and we'll go on to section 3. The third section of short 2 is lowering the gate. So let's review real quick. We've got Chinese sword, power side, weak side. We got our Chinese L's to 3 and to 9. So this is the last position we left off with section 2. Now for section 3, draw to cat, hand in chamber, right on top, step out, lowering the gate. Draw to cat, leave the hand up, step back in, lowering the gate, B. Again, we just left off with Chinese L here. So we draw to cat, right in chamber, left on top, step out, lowering the gate. If you need to review this, go back to your orange belt. Then from here, upwards block, lowering the gate. One last time, let's do the complete section, all 3 of them. So Chinese sword, draw to cat, Chinese L, draw to cat, hands in chamber, Chinese L. Draw to cat, hands in chamber, upwards block, middle knuckle fist, right down solar plexus. Draw to cat, the upwards block turns into strike, right upwards, left eagle beak strike. That's section 3. Practice that and then we'll go on to section 4. Okay, our next section is our downward block heel palm cover. So from here, we got section 1, which is Chinese sword, power side, weak side. Section 2 is your Chinese L's. Section 3 is your lowering the gates. Section 4, we draw the cat. There again, left cat, right hand in chamber, left on top. Step to the 430 position with a downward block. Step through, left hand cover, right heel palm to jaw. Draw the cat, you're in the right cat, left in chamber, downward block to 730. Step forward, heel palm cover. Again, so when you're looking at this from straight ahead, you're doing a downward block, step through, heel palm cover. Okay, again. So, Chinese swords to 12 o'clock. Chinese L to 9. Then to 3. Draw the cat, lowering the gate, back to cat, left downward, right step through to 430, heel palm cover. Draw the cat, right downward, left forward, heel palm cover. Okay, again. So, lowering the gate, draw the cat, downward block, step right, heel palm cover. Draw the cat, downward block to 730, heel palm cover. Okay? Practice those sections and then come back and we'll finish the final section. Okay, now let's go over the last section of the kata. Last place we left off on the last section was we had just done a heel palm cover to the 730 position. Now from here, our left hand, as we pivot to face 230, is going to do an inwards block. Then we're going to step out right to 230, do a upwards block into a fighting stance as we do a half fist to the throat. Then we draw the left cat, right inward, step out to 1030 as we do a left upward, half fist to throat, and close. Okay, again, remember we left off here. So we're going to go left inward, right cat, facing 230, right upward as we step right to 230, half fist to throat. Our next direction is the 1030 position. So we're going to do a right inward left cat, left upward, half fist to throat, right foot steps forward, salutation, and bow. Okay, let's go through the whole kata now that you know the whole thing. Let's take it all the way through. So we got Chinese sword power side, then weak side. Draw the cat, hands in chamber, right on bottom, left on top, step out, Chinese L. Draw to a right cat, step out to 3, Chinese L. Draw back to a left cat, step to 6, lowering the gate. Draw to right, left, lowering the gate. From here, right hand in chamber, left hand on top, left foot in cat. We're stepping to the 430 position, left downward, heel palm cover. Draw to cat, right downward, heel palm cover. Inwards, upwards, half fist, inward, upward, half fist, salutation, and close. Okay, the last time with no explanation. And that concludes short 2. Okay, let's look at purple belt long 1 now. So you've gone and you've seen the way the kata looks. Let's break this down into sections. Now long 1 is similar to short 1, except we're going to add strikes to it. So just like short 1, we're going to start off with a salutation, bow, then section 1. Step back left to 6, inward block, punch, step back right, inward, inward, punch. That's section 1 of long 1. So, salutation, inward block, punch, step back right, inward, inward, punch with the right. That's section 1. Practice that and we'll come back and do section 2. Okay, now that we know section 1, let's go on to section 2. So let's review so we get back to where we were. Salutation. Right inward, left punch. Right, left inward, right punch. Now we're going to take our right foot, step to the 3 o'clock position to get ourselves into a fighting stance to face 9. Cross body parry, vertical outward block, punch. Now we're going to step back left to the 3 o'clock position as we do a cross body parry, right vertical outward block, punch. Again, section 2 from our last position, which was a punch. We're going to step right to 3 o'clock, cross body parry, vertical outward block, punch. Step back left to 3, cross body parry, vertical outward block, punch. That's section 2. Now practice that and come back and do section 3. Okay, now that we know the first 2 sections, let's go on to section 3. Let's review what we do now. Salutation. Inward block, punch, inward, inward, punch. Vertical outward block, punch. Vertical outward block, punch. Now, next section, we're going to step forward about 6 inches to 6 o'clock. Left elbow. Upwards, punch. Step back left, right upwards, punch. Okay, that's section 3. Again, from our last position, vertical outward block punch. Step forward, right about 6 inches. Reverse your heel-toe relationship to face 3. Elbow the upwards, punch. Step back, upwards, punch. Okay, let's practice those first 3 sections and then come back and do section. Okay, let's look at the next section of long 1, the 4th section. So there again, let's review what we do now. Salutation. Right inward, left punch. Right, left inward, right punch. Cross body parry, left vertical outward, right punch. Cross body parry, right vertical outward, left punch. Left elbow, upwards. Punch with the right. Right upwards, left punch. Now, section 4, we're going to take our right foot, step to 6 o'clock, downward block, punch. Step back left, downward block, punch. Okay, again, from our last position. So, we're here. Downward block, punch. Downward block, punch. So let's go through that section. That section is just like short 2, or short 1 I mean, except we're just going to add some strikes to it. So it's identical as far as the footwork goes. Inward salutation. Inward block, punch. 1, 2, punch. Vertical outwards, punch. Vertical outwards, punch. Elbow upwards, punch. Upwards, punch. Now this is the only part that's different than short 1 because we're going to step forward rather than back. Downward block, punch. Downward block, punch. Okay, that's the first 4 sections of long 1. Okay, let's look at our next section of long 1. Let's go up to what we know. Salutation. Inward punch. Inward, inward punch. Vertical outward punch. Vertical outward punch. Now we're going to go to 3. Elbow upward punch. Upwards punch. Now we're going to go to 6. Downward punch. Downward punch. This is where we left off on the last section. Now from here, at the 6 o'clock position, we're going to basically repeat short 1 over again from a different angle and using all punches. So we're here. So we're going to do inward, inward, inward. So that's 3 inward, starting with the left, right, left, facing 6 o'clock. Left foot steps back to 12. Right inward, left inward, right inward. Okay, again, section 5 from our downward block. Punch, left, right, left inward, step back left, right, right inward. Okay, that concludes section 5. Let's look at the next section once you've practiced that. Okay, now that you know the first 5 sections, let's go through them all again and we will go on to section 6. This is about 8, 9 sections to this kata, depending on how you want to break it down. So, our next section, section 6, will be our vertical outward blocks. So, let's get to there. Bow, inward block, punch, inward, inward to 12, punch. 9, vertical outward punch, vertical outward punch. 3, upwards, punch, upwards, punch. Downwards to 6, punch. Downward to 6, punch. Section 5, through inwards. 1, 2, 3, step back. Inwards. Okay, this is where our next section takes off. We're going to go back to the 9 o'clock position. Vertical outward, vertical outward, vertical outward. Step back. Crossbody parry. Vertical outward, vertical outward, vertical outward. Okay? Again. So we've done our inward punch, downward punch inwards, inwards. Now our opponent's at 9, so we're going to step left to the 6 o'clock position, vertical outwards. Step back again, right crossbody parry, left vertical outward. Right vertical, crossbody parry, left vertical. These are your upward blocks. So let's get to where we left off. Salutation. Attacks at 12. Inward punch. Inward punch. Attacks now at 9. Vertical outward block punch. Vertical outward block punch. Now the attacks at 3. Upwards punch. Upwards punch. Attacks at 6. Downward punch. Downward punch. Stay where we're at. Go right into inwards. 3 of them, starting with the left. Step back left. Right inwards. Then we go to our vertical outwards to the 9 o'clock position. 1, 2, 3. Step back. Crossbody parries. 1, crossbody parry. 2, crossbody parry. 3. Now we're at our next section of upward. The attacks at 3. Right upward. As we step forward to 12, about 6 inches. Left upward, right upward. Step back. Left, right, left. Okay, again. So, we've just done our last vertical outward block. We step forward to 12 to reverse our heel-toe relationship into a fighting stance. So we're now facing our opponent at 3. 3 upward, starting with the right. Right, left, right. Step back. Left, right, left. Okay, practice those sections, and then come back and we will go on to the next section of Long 1. Okay, let's look at the next section of Long 1, Section 8, your downward blocks. So let's recap what we do now. Salutation. Inward blocks, punch. Vertical outward block, punch. Upward block, punch. Downward block, punch. Inward blocks. Vertical outwards. upwards. Last section, or section 8, is your downwards. So we're going to take our right foot and step to 6 o'clock, left downward, right downward, left downward. Then we step back left to 6, right, left, right. And that's the end of section 8. Okay, let's look at this again. The downward blocks. Let's start from our last position, which was our upwards blocks. We're going to step right to 6 o'clock, downward with the left, right, left, step back to 6, right downward, left downward, right downward. Again, section 8. From our upward block position, we step right to 6, downward block, downward block, downward block. We step back left to 6, downward block, downward block, downward block. Okay, that's section 8. Practice that, and we'll go on to the last section, section 9. Okay, let's look at the final section of Long 1. Let's recap of what we do know. Salutation, inward blocks, vertical outward block punch combinations, upward blocks, downward blocks, 3 inwards, 3 vertical outwards, 3 upwards, 3 downwards, okay, final section. We're going to take our left foot, step forward to 12 o'clock into square horse stance as we do a wrist strike across the body. Do 3 of those. Then we're going to do an outside wrist strike across the body. 3 smothers, starting with the left, right, left, punches to 12, 10-30s and 2-30s, 3s and 9s, right uppercut, left uppercut, bow, and close. So, our final section. You've just finished your downward blocks. Left foot steps to 12, inside wrist block, just like going across the center line, just like you're scooping water. 1, 2, 3, outside. Push blocks straight down the center line. Punches. 12, 10-30, 2-30, 9, 3, right uppercut, left uppercut, close, and bow. That's Long 1. Let's look at it in its entirety one more time. Salutation. Inward punch. Vertical outward punch. Upward punch. Downward punch. Inwards. Vertical outwards. Upwards. Downwards. Inside wrist strikes. Outside wrist strikes. Smother blocks. Punches. Uppercuts. Congratulations on Long 1.